Getting your first ever Clan Boss team off the ground as a new player is one of the most important things you can possibly do to be securing some sweet, juicy, succulent daily rewards. And what easy way to do that than using rare champs. And so here are 10 picks for sweet rare champions that you might want to keep your eye out for to work into your Clan Boss team until you find a better, rare, or even epic alternative. And you know what? Some of these picks are going to be avoiding the obvious. I feel like War Maiden just kind of works everywhere. She's campaign farmable. She even has like a weak poison on her A1 as well as the strong decreased defense. She's obviously fantastically good and you'll almost definitely be using her as an early game account. But for our first pick, we're going to hone in on good old Marked. And to be honest, Marked's kit is really just all about the A3. This is bookable down to a 3-turn cooldown, which is kind of unreal given that the increased defense buff lasts for 2 turns. And yeah, a strong decreased defense buff on all allies for a couple of turns. It's one of the most valuable buffs that you can bring into Clan Boss. Stop your team getting one-shotted like 4 or 5 turns earlier than they otherwise would, but it also brings with it a block debuffs buff on allies for 1 turn as well, allowing you to do things like block the Clan Boss stun. And so Marked is a pretty solid one if you're lacking a champ that brings that strong increased defense. On a rare, this is a pretty damn good cooldown to duration ratio. The rest of her kit really isn't that great, to be honest. She brings a weak decreased defense debuff for 1 turn on her A1. To be fair, this son of a gun, I didn't even notice this, but this son of a gun is bookable up to a 80% debuff chance, which is kind of hilarious. I've not seen that before ever on an A1 actually. What the hell is this? They don't make them like they used to, you know? I think that Marked is a really, really old champion. But given the fact that if you're an early game player, you've probably got War Maiden and you've got the strong version of decreased defense as a result, you probably don't value this A1 that much, but there it is all the same. And the A2 is an attack all with a chance to place decrease accuracy for a couple of turns. So yeah, it's really all about the A3 men. Marked is pick number 10. Let's move on to 9, boys. Next up, you know it's coming. We gotta talk briefly at least about Frozen Banshee. This might actually be, is this like the best rare champ in the game against Clan Boss? She might be, dude. She's got some rivals. I don't think it's that close. I think that she's honestly incredibly, incredibly good, man. We're talking about double strong poison with 100% debuff chance on the A1. Like, that's insane, okay? That's just mental right off the get-go, man. Obviously, the target does have to be under a poison sensitivity debuff in order to actually get these 2 poisons, but she brings that to her kit as well, man. She just kind of has it all. I don't know, dude. The A2 against Clan Boss with Frozen Banshee, you'll actually be disabling this. You won't be using the A2 at all. Not that it's that bad, right? It's attack 1 enemy, fill a turn meters of all allies by 2% for each debuff on the target. Like, it's fine. It's pretty decent 10 meter fill against Clan Boss, but the value of just spamming the A1 and the A3 as much as possible is way, way higher, generally speaking. So the A3 is attack 1 enemy, place a strong poison sensitivity debuff for 2 turns. So yeah, it's very, very simple. I mean, you just kind of keep up the poison sense and just spam the A1 as much as you can. You can even put Frozen Banshee in the likes of a retaliation set. Maybe like 4 pieces of retaliation, 2 pieces of accuracy or perception, you know? And so then she's getting in the counter attacks as well with the A1. Every now and then when like the boss uses like an AoE, procs the counter attack, that's 2 more poisons. She's just kind of nuts. Now, one of her biggest rivals is actually going to be in the Demon Spawn faction, and it's quite a similar champ. Where is she? There she is. Good old Petrifia. So her ratings are not as impressive in Demon Lord. I think that she's slightly worse in Demon Lord than Frozen Banshee, but she has the advantage of having a lot of multi-hitters with all of her abilities, and so she kind of just does well into a lot of more wave-based content. She's just a bit more versatile, right? She's decent in Faction Wars too, so she has that going for her as well. Yeah, let's break down the kit, man. So Petrifia's an interesting one. On the A1, attack 1 enemy 2 times each hit, having a chance of placing that weak decreased defense debuff, so she's bringing that to the table if you don't have that option already, with the added benefit of, if the target is under a poison sense debuff placed by this champion, which again she brings, each hit has a 20% chance of placing a strong decreased defense debuff for a couple of turns instead. And this is actually a 35% debuff chance, by the way. So she actually brings quite a reliable, like a semi-reliable, strong decreased defense on the A1, which is pretty cool, man. Pretty unique A1 overall. On the A2, this is another double hitter. It's an attack all enemies on this occasion. So first hit has a 100% chance bucked of placing a weak decrease attack debuff for a couple of turns. Not bad. You do also need decreased attack into Clan Boss. Obviously, you want the strong version if you can. But one of the purposes of building out your rare champions is because they serve you well early on, and then you kind of replace them with upgrades as you go. So this is a pretty damn good starting point. And the second hit also has a then fully booked 75% chance of placing a single poison debuff. Not bad stuff. The A3 attacks 3 times at random each hit with a... what the hell's that? 40% chance? 40% chance of placing a poison sensitivity debuff for 2 turns, and if all hits land on the same target, you will also poison the target as well. So overall, she's got much more versatility to her kit. I do think she's worth building out if you pull her early on your account. She can do a good amount of work for you against the clan boss. She's going to be applying less poisons overall than Frozen Banshee and be doing a bit less damage overall than Frozen Banshee, but she brings the utility of strong decrease defense on the A1. And so depending on if this is a gap that you need to fill in your clan boss team and you need this debuff on your clan boss team, she can do a better job even than Frozen Banshee, but it's just kind of team dependent, right? If you already got the strong decrease defense on another champ, then obviously Frozen Banshee's better. But yeah, Petrifia again has that added benefit of just being able to kind of do pretty well across a wide range of content. As a quick honorable mention, if you have not picked Kayle as your starting champion and you need another poisoner, preferably to go alongside Frozen Banshee, then Grave Chill is a fantastic rare option for that, because she brings that strong decrease defense and additional poison effects that kind of synergize with the Frozen Banshee. So on the A1, she's got that flat 50% chance of landing a poison debuff for 1 turn. Pretty damn good. The A2 is where the strong decrease defense debuff comes in. This is a 3-turn cooldown, single target hitter with a 100% chance of placing that strong decrease defense debuff if the target is under poison, which they always will be really if you're running around a poison team. So very reliable way to maintain that strong decrease defense debuff. Great synergy with Frozen Banshee. And on the A3, it's attack 1 enemy 2 times each hit, placing a weak poison debuff for 2 turns, or places a strong poison debuff instead if the target is under poison sensitivity debuff, which of course Frozen Banshee brings. If you get either of these champions super early on your account, you're off to a fantastic good start. You know what else is an awesome way to get a good start in your account? By starting a new account by clicking on the promo link down below at the top of the video description, of course. Clicking that link will kickstart your new account with a free epic champion and a bunch of starting freebies, including 500k silver. Combine hitting that promo link with our happy little promo code GameLeap and just get your account off to the best possible start, man. The code GameLeap will get you 10 free experience brews, 1 free energy refill, and 100,000 starting silver. Just to be clear, this is not a newbie code, so if you haven't used this code yet and you're a veteran player, then hell, you might as well punch it in. You know what I'm saying? Alright, man. Next up, we head on into the Dwarves faction for a Giga Chad HP burner. There he is, man. Good old Bulwark. This guy, fantastic into clan boss. I don't think he's that great into much else. Okay, yeah, he's not really good into almost anything else. Obviously, he can work in Iron Twins, but hey, Demon Lord, Bulwark, this is a great little void tank right here. And here's why. On the A1, attacks 1 enemy 2 times. Each hit has a fully booked 30% chance of placing a weak version of Weaken debuff for a couple of turns, which honestly, very good against clan boss as well. The A2, you want to be spamming this out as much as you possibly can. In fact, I think that for the most part, you want to be playing Bulwark in the likes of a reflex set if you can, as soon as you can get your hands on one, just so you get that 40% chance every turn of reducing the cooldown of the A2 as quickly as possible, so you can spam this as much as you can, right? It's a 100% chance on a 3-turn cooldown of placing that HP burn debuff for 2 turns. Also attacks in as well, of course. Just a very nice single target, reliable HP burner, which honestly you don't get that many of those amongst the rare champion pool, and so Bulwark is great for that. And it's really just supplemented even more against the clan boss by the passive, which is when attacked, such as by one of the clan boss's multiple AoE attacks, has a 30% chance of extending the duration of all debuffs on the attacker by 1 turn. So you can run Bulwark in the likes of a HP burn kind of centered clan boss team. You can just run him alongside the likes of poisoners and stuff like that. He'll do just fine with a passive clocking in a crazy amount of value. Of course, he's also a defense-based champ as well, so nice and tanky. You can't go wrong with a bit of bully. Next up, a champion that I do not understand, to be honest, because honestly, I just haven't playtested it. I've been playing the game for like 3 months, and all of these champ recommendations are based on stuff that I've researched and done homework on online and blah, you know, to prepare for which champions I gotta be collecting. Painkeeper is one of the chief rares you want to be looking out for. Why? Because Painkeeper is kind of integral to some kind of unkillable clan boss setup, right? where you just, well, I mean, you just can't die if you tune the team correctly. That's it. I can't speak too much about it from personal experience because, again, I've just never played this myself, and it's a lot of homework to figure out how it works, man. I just haven't had any real reason to get around to it yet. But Kit is as follows. By the way, she's not only good into clan boss, she's pretty damn versatile. She's pretty solid across things like faction wars, wave-based content. She'll save your account for a good amount of time. She's not just like a clan boss gimmick, as far as I can tell. She'll at least scale pretty nicely into faction wars for you, man. So the A1 attacks one enemy 2 times, fills champion's turn meter by 10%. Not bad, you know, as far as A1s go for rares, pretty good. The A2 is where she gets her versatility, right? It's an attack all enemies, then heals all allies by 15% of this champ's max HP. I'll also point out that she is a HP-based champion, making sure that her skills scale off of HP and attack in this case, which is kind of curious. So I don't know, maybe she can hit quite hard too if you just scale her up to be crazy tanky with some attack stat prioritization here and there. But where she really comes into her own is, of course, the 4-turn cooldown. Decrease the cooldowns of all ally skills by 1 turn. This is what makes her integral to the unkillable clan boss teams, as far as I can tell. And so yeah, if you happen to pull a Painkeeper and you don't really know how to judge her or like what to do with her as a newer player, just hold on to her for now, okay? Hold on to her for now and get the homework done on how to set up that unkillable clan boss team. I believe Deadwood Jedi is one of the best sites you can visit to, yeah, look up an unkillable Painkeeper clan boss team and just kind of see what you need to put that kind of thing together. And as such, he absolutely bears mentioning on this list. Next up, we've got, where's Doomscreech, man? Where is he, the absolute abomination? There he is, man. So clan boss is not really Doomscreech's best area in the game. I think he's used as like arena initiation by most players. Okay, arena offense, arena defense. Yeah, he's like a good early game sort of like 10-meter controller for arena. But he also does do pretty decently in the clan boss as well as far as rare champs go. And it's mostly for the A2, right? Fills the 10-meter of all allies by 30%. And then places a strong increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. This is bookable down to a 3-turn cooldown, meaning that you can basically maintain this son of a gun constantly. And yeah, if you're lacking an increased defense buff on your clan boss team, then just get Doomscreech. Now, his A3 is a little bit rubbish. I haven't actually checked the A1 yet, but the A3, I think this is the kind of thing that, again, you just sort of want to disable against clan boss, and it's to attack all enemies. Place a shield buff equal to 30% max HP on this champion for 2 turns. Damage increases according to this champion's current HP. Is the A1 just better? Okay, yeah, it is. Of course it is. So I guess you just want to go ahead and disable this against clan boss, the A3, that is. The A1 is pretty sweet just because it has that 25% chance of placing a strong decrease accuracy debuff for a couple of turns. And so you just would really be spamming the A1 and the A2 as much as humanly possible with good old Doobie. Next up, we veg into the High Elves faction to hunt down good old Reliquary Tender. Now, this is a very, very old school champ. I believe that she used to be way more powerful back in the day. She's been power crept a little bit, but I still think that she has just about enough in her kit to make the list. First of all, the A1. If your team is lacking a way to reliably place a decreased attack debuff on the clan boss, then this A1 actually has quite a bit of value for you. If you're not lacking a way to place the strong version of decreased attack debuff, then this A1 is kind of valueless. But yeah, attack one enemy. It has a fully bugged 40% chance of placing the weak version of decreased attack for a couple of turns. Not great, not terrible, again, depending on your needs. The A2 removes all debuffs from all allies, then places a 15% continuous heal buff on them for 2 turns. This is a 3-turn cooldown. Of course, removing clan boss debuffs, always fantastic, especially that gosh darn stun. And the continuous heal just giving you that little bit of extra stability against the clan boss. Also, just a lot of good amount of value in this skill, particularly that removes all debuffs. And on the A3, we have a rare version of a revive, meaning it's not a very good revive. It's only with 30% HP, and it's only with 10 meter, and it doesn't like heal them or give them a shield or something on revive. But hey, it's a revive nonetheless. 5-turn cooldown. Pretty solid stuff. And again, even if she gets outskilled very, very quickly in clan boss and you just find like a better epic champ alternative or whatever that's like blocking debuffs or something crazy, you know, I still find that she finds a pretty good amount of value across a lot of other areas of the game. I mean, I guess, yeah, right here, Dragon's Lair, Ice Golem Speak, these are 2 areas, of course, where debuff removal become even more important, especially Dragon's Lair. I've got to admit, I don't know why Minotaur's Labyrinth is even featured in these little champion breakdowns. I feel like clearing the max stage of Minotaur's Labyrinth is doable in like 2 months of account progress or something, if you're really like min-maxing and you're really blasting, you know? But then again, I guess if you're trying to clear it for the first time on your super early account, she will also remove the Hex debuffs that the Minotaur places as well. So just a little bit of that. Obviously useful in Void Keep, where poisons are a big deal early on, and you're just progressing your way through that. And then she scales pretty decently into Faction Wars as well. And so there you go, man. Reliquary Tender. By the way, I feel like I should have been mentioning this a few times, but I feel like a lot of these champs you could just leave at level 50. It's fine. Take them to like rank 5, leave them at level 50, and give it a couple of months or a couple of big sessions of like opening shards during events and things like that to see if you get any better replacements before you really consider taking them to 60. I think so far from the ones that we've covered, the ones that are worth taking to 60 are probably Frozen Banshee. You could maybe take Petrifia to 60 also if you are not going the Frozen Banshee route. Bulwark, yeah. Is he worth 60? I don't know. Some people would say yes. I think that's quite... I think that would be quite divisive. Painkeeper, you probably would want to take to 60. Doomscreech, not so much. Marked, not so much. Reliquary Tender, again, very, very situational. I'd lean towards not so much. And the next champ here, I'd also lean towards not so much. Maybe just leave Eris at level 50 as well. But she is a pretty gosh darn solid champ for taking on Demon Lord Clan Boss, man. So Eris is one of those champs that I feel like she's pretty decent into Clan Boss, and if you do want to take her all the way up to 60, she can do a job for you, but she will inevitably fall off, right? I feel like most of her scaling comes from the War Master mastery, which is right the way down at the bottom of the offense tree and the mastery tree. And War Master gives you that 60% chance of dealing 4% of the target's max health as damage on hit, which is of course reduced a little bit against Clan Boss, but you know, basically she can hit really, really hard for a while. She will eventually fall off though. Either which way, man, her kit is really, really interesting. Attacks one enemy, grants an extra 10 if the target is killed. Big deal, like whatever, you know, it's just a single hitter basically against Clan Boss. The A2 removes one random debuff from all allies, has a 60% chance, or rather 100% chance, we should say, fully booked, of placing a strong increased speed on all allies for 2 turns. This is fantastic. This is really, really good. As long as she's not the champ that's getting stunned, then she's going to have that very, very reliable debuff removal for the rest of your team. Increased speed, you can't really get enough of that. If this is something that you're missing on your team, then this is obviously fantastic. You're probably going to have High Katoon very, very early on as your 30-day login champ, and so you probably won't value this that much against Clan Boss if you're using High Katoon into your Clan Boss team. But hey, even just the debuff removal on its own, very, very valuable stuff. And the passive counterattacks the attacker when an ally is attacked. So basically she's spamming counterattacks, and that's why the War Master passive is so good, man. This A1, that's basically just an attack one enemy single hitter against the Clan Boss. She's counterattacking so much and so reliably during the battle that you're proccing the crap out of the War Master passive, right? And so she's landing these big auto attacks, these big A1s very, very consistently, you know. That combined with the debuff removal, you're just gonna have a damn good time with Eris. Now again, I'd take it at level 50. If I was gonna build a Clan Boss team with Eris in it, I'd take it at level 50. Just leave her there, just because you're probably going to find a way to deal a similar amount of damage to Eris without too long having gone by on your account, right? Maybe you're going to build like a HP burn team or a poisoner team or something like that. But not only that, but you're also probably going to find a better support style champ that's bringing, you know, maybe debuff removal alongside like increased attack or increased defense or something, you know. You're going to find someone who's doing the job just a little bit better than her, but for super early on in your account, Eris, very, very good stuff. And next up, we go with the cop-out one, boys, to make it 10. I'm sure that there's other ones that I've missed. Definitely make sure to go ahead and post them down below. Actually, Spirit Horse is a fantastic... I've just looked at Spirit Horse and just thought to myself, she's very, very good debuff removal as well. Comes with increased attack. Really not a bad champ. There's definitely a lot of rares that you can make work, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw a Cold Heart in there. Why? Because if you pull Cold Heart in the first few months of your account, right? You might as well just use it in your Clan Boss team, because let's be real, you're probably taking Cold Heart to 60 as soon as humanly possible. The cool thing about Cold Heart is that once you get her masteries maxed out, she can actually do a pretty damn good job for you super early on into Clan Boss, just because of her quad hitter A1, attack 4 times at random, each hit with a chance of placing a max heal reduction debuff for a couple of turns. We don't really care so much about the debuff, obviously, but the fact that this attack, this A1 hits 4 times, you can get Cult out with the Giant Slayer Mastery, which I think it's like a 30% chance to deal some max HP damage to the target. So even if it just procs a couple of times for every A1, it's some pretty goddamn solid damage, okay, for an A1. Not only that, but the A2, it's an attack all enemies with a 35% chance of placing a strong decrease accuracy debuff for 1 turn. Also places a poison debuff for a couple of turns if the target is under a heal reduction debuff. So again, just pretty solid skill into Clan Boss. And of course, the best part is that as soon as you've got a better poisoner or just a better damage dealer or someone who's bringing just way more utility to your Clan Boss team and you replace Cold Heart as a rare champ in your Clan Boss team, she is so good into many other areas of the game. Namely, I mean, god, yeah, even Fire Knights, dude. I actually forgot about that, man. But yeah, she does unbelievable damage to Spider, a lot of max HP bosses. She's going to do an unbelievable amount of damage. Fire Knight, of course, she's attacking in 4 times. So it's like, dude, she scales so well into Fire Knight. We haven't even covered the A3 yet. What am I doing? Attacks 1 enemy on the A3, decrease the target's turn meter by 100%. This is obviously exceptionally good against Spider and Fire Knight. Has an extra 30% chance, wait a minute, yeah, 30% chance of inflicting a crit. And the damage increases according to enemy max HP. So yeah, she hits like a goddamn truck, you know? So, moral of the story is, use Cold Heart early on into Clan Boss if you're in like the first, maybe like 2 or 3 months of your account or something. Max her out nice and quickly, and you just won't regret it. That's it, really. Is she one of the best Clan Boss rares in the game? No, but she's one of the best rares in the game, and so I'm just going to take the cop out. I'm just going to take the easy way out, man, and throw her in as the last rare we're going to be covering on this list. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all did enjoy this one. Again, if I did miss any rare champs that you feel people really sleep on for Clan Boss, make sure to drop them down below in the comments and help the newer players out, man. This is a newer player channel, you know? 1,000 subs we just passed recently, and from what I've seen from the polls we've done on the channel, like half of you guys have been playing Raid for less than 6 months, which is awesome because it means we're all on the same boat. And then we've got like a few veterans who've subscribed to the channel who often drop like useful stuff in the comments, and yeah, it's just turned out to be an awesome little community that we built, man. So while you're on down there below the video, make sure to hit like and subscribe, man, to hop on board. And yeah, if you're looking to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account, make sure to click on the promo link down below at the top of the video description to start your new account with a free epic champion and a bunch of starting freebies. I've been Cobb. You've been awesome. Do enjoy the rest of your day, and we're going to catch all of you guys just a tad bit later.